Okay, so we're going to write the solution in interval notation. So let me explain to you how simple interval notation is. You really use, when you get to higher level math, you don't really use number lines anymore. All right, what you do is you think about the number line. All right, and here is 5. If you go to the right, you're heading towards where? Very good, infinity. All right. If you go to the left, you're heading towards where? Negative infinity. All right. So that is the idea of writing an interval notation. Interval notation is just a shorthand number line. All right. So what I want to do is, yesterday we learned if you're greater than 5, all right, there's going to be a open circle at 5, and we're going to the right. Interval notation says this, that where are we starting? We're starting at 5. And you always read numbers from left to right. So we're starting at 5 and we're heading towards where? Infinity. All right. These are both parentheses. All right. The reason they're both parentheses is because we're not including them. All right. We're not including them. We start at the first number greater than 5. And as we discussed yesterday, there is no first number greater than 5. So we have a symbol for that. That is a parentheses. We never actually get to infinity. Infinity is just an idea. It's not really a number. All right. So that would be the graph of x is greater than 5 written in interval notation. All right. So now let's take a look at number 2. All right. Yesterday we learned if we were to graph this on a number line, we would start at -4, and it would be a solid dot at -4, and we would be going to the what? We'd be going to the left. All right. As we mentioned previously, going to the left means this is negative infinity over here, and this is what? Infinity over here. Now, I just told you we read numbers from left to right. So we're going to start at what? Negative infinity, and then we were going to go to where? We're going to go where? -4. -4, and we were going to stop at -4. Now, this time we use a bracket at -4. The reason we use a bracket for -4 is because that's the symbol for including -4. That's the symbol for including -4. And of course, we never reach infinity or negative infinity. That's why that is a parentheses. All right. There's nothing to be confused about. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. All right. We're reading numbers from left to right. So we go from negative infinity to -4. All right. Use a bracket if it's equal to. Use a parentheses if it's not equal to. That's it. That's all there is. All right. So now let's see how great of a job I did for number 3. All right. Now, some of you might say, well, do I have to write the number line? Eventually, no, you won't have to write the number line. If I say x is less than 7, if you're less than 7, that means you're heading towards what? Negative infinity. All right. So those of you guys who understand, you can just write negative infinity to 7, and you're done with the problem. For those of you guys who are wildly confused because it's so difficult, draw a number line. Everyone has to draw a number line if you don't understand. All right. You write 7 down, open circle, less than, negative infinity, infinity. I'm going from where? Negative infinity to 7. That's all there is to it.
So why isn't the 7 first? Because on number 1.
The 7 is not first because you read numbers from left to right. Everybody needs to hear me on that. You read numbers from left to right. Because what is first, 5 or infinity?
Oh, okay.
That's how easy it is, honestly. That's why I'm saying I like your question. Clear it up now. Clear it up now for yourself. Don't wait till I get to problem 10 before you ask me a question and I leave you in the dust. It's really not that hard. All right, Bruin, what?
Know when to use the bracket or the.
Bracket is if it's equal to. What do I mean by that? There's an equal to right here. That requires a bracket. There's an equal to right here. That's going to require a what? Bracket. There is no equal to sign here. That's a parentheses. There is no equal sign here. That's going to require a parentheses. That's it. And if you don't like that explanation, you need to do this. Brackets are for these, parentheses are for these. That's how all there is to it. Those are the new rules. What? Good for you. Can you reach infinity or negative infinity?
Yeah.
Okay, what number's at infinity? That's what I'm asking you. What number is infinity? You're right. There isn't a number at infinity. I said it's an idea. It isn't, it's not a bracket. If you want, make yourself a note. Infinity is always a parentheses. Infinity is always a parentheses. You can't end at infinity. It's an idea. It's not a number. I don't know what you're talking about. It's the, just let's take a look at number 4. You're starting at what? You're starting at -3. And you're going where? To infinity. That's it. Bracket at -3. Parentheses at infinity. That's it. That's all there is. Those are all the possible outcomes. Peter, are you good on that or not? No. And if you don't know, you still write out a number line. Here's -3, solid dot going to the right. We start at -3, bracket, and we end at infinity, parentheses. Good? What? Oh, goodness, good notes. You wrote good notes down. That's exactly right. Infinities will always be parentheses. Infinities will always be parentheses. So here we go. Number 5. Now, everybody should be good at this now because it's the same thing as yesterday. Nothing is different. What do I have to do first? Subtract 3. So I have 4x less than -28. Divide by 4. X is less than what? -7. Now visualize less than -7 means you're going to where? Going to the left, which means you're going to negative infinity. That is correct. Yes, ma'am.
Why wouldn't you put the sign? Because I thought whenever you divide, you put the sign.
Nope, that's not what it says. When you multiply or divide by a negative, you flip the sign.
28 not negative.
We're not dividing by a negative. We're dividing by 4. We're not dividing by a negative. Parentheses on both sides. That's correct. Like I said, if you're having trouble, just put -7 on a number line. Open circle going to the left. This is negative infinity. So we're going from negative infinity to -7. All right, let's see if I'm making myself clear. What, Mr. Greep? All right. Let's check out number 7. What do I need to do on number 7 first? Nope. Subtract 2. Everybody's writing this out. All right. Don't be lazy. Don't copy my work. You do your work. And some of you are getting so fast, you do, because you know you're going to be doing the evens for homework. You do 7 and then you go ahead and try 8. I don't recommend that because you might miss something that I'm saying. But do your work. Come on, don't be lazy. Subtract 2. A over 3 is less than or equal to what? Negative 8. Now, how do I get rid of dividing by 3? So A is what? Less than or equal to what? Negative 24. Now, those of you guys who can do without a number line, you should just say, hey, I'm going less than negative 24. That means I'm heading towards where? I'm heading to negative infinity. So I'm going from negative infinity all the way up to what? And then I stop. Do I include negative 24? Is negative 24 included? Yes, that's a bracket. This, parentheses. Greep, go. This is less than or equal to. Equal to goes here. That means negative 24 is part of the answer. It would, negative 24 would not be included if there wasn't an equal to sign. It would just be up to negative 24. Go. What's less than, girl? If you're less than, where are you going? If I'm at negative 24, where's less than? Am I going left or right? That's right. I'm going left. That makes sense now, right? Greater than is going to the right. Less than is going to the left. All right, let's see how I'm doing. Let's go. Number 9. 2D minus 6D is what? Negative 4D. Now, am I dividing by a negative? For those of you guys who were not here yesterday, one of the rules for inequalities, if you multiply or divide by a negative, you must change the inequality sign. So when I divide by negative 4, D becomes what? Less than what? 6. D is less than 6. So if D is less than 6, we're heading to where? Negative infinity. So we go from negative infinity. Mr. Greep, watch. Am I including 6 now?
Wait, no.
No, you're not. So it's a parentheses. Less than 6 does not include 6, but we said there was no first number less than 6. So that's the symbolism we use for less than 6.
If there was a line under it,
Then it would be a bracket. You're very smart.
Take away the line. The prescription,
I don't know what that means.
on the first page, there was lines under somewhere that's greater than 1.
Yes, that's a bracket then. That's the difference between a parentheses and a bracket.
Yeah, but we switched the sign to the.
Uh-huh. No, good question. No, that doesn't change. That's an equal to symbol, okay? You hear me? All right, let's check out number 11. What do I need to do on number 11? Come on, guys, we should be getting good. X minus 7 is less than what? And now what? Add 7. X is less than 1 or negative 1? Yeah, negative 6 plus 7 is 1. Now, does everybody see how it's much easier to do this than do the number line? Right? Hopefully you feel that way. All right, less than 1 means I'm going from what? Negative infinity to 1. Anybody have an issue with that? Anybody? No problems? Anybody? All right, come on, get to work, get to work. I like it, Colton. First day you got perked up and you've been working hard from start to finish. Now, don't get lazy on me now. All right, now here, again, obviously we subtract 3x. Is everybody agreeing with me? If I move the 3x over, it becomes what? Negative x. Everyone at this stage of the game should be able to say 2x minus 3x is negative 1x. Now I move the 3 over. When I move the 3 over, it becomes a what? 4. Very nice. That's how easy that should be for you. Now, I have a negative x. So what do I do with the signs? Change all signs. And when I change all signs, it becomes x is what? Greater than or equal to? Negative 4. Greater than or equal to negative 4. So where am I starting now? Negative 4, and I'm heading where? Infinity. Parentheses where? And bracket at. All right, my people who were not here yesterday, please let me know if that's not making any sense. Good for you.
Wait, it's same thing still as it's.
Oh, okay, so look. So here's what some of you guys are going to do, and I just know you're not paying attention. So look up on the board what he said, something smart. This technically is exactly the same thing. Is that what you wrote?
Yeah.
But in math, infinity is greater than negative 4, so they need to be switched. You always read numbers from left to right. You're always reading numbers from left to right. You hear what I'm saying, right? If you write infinity negative 4, I'm not mad. I'm just knowing you don't quite understand what I'm telling you. You with me? We read numbers from left to right. So we always start with the smallest. That's why negative infinity is always going to be what? First, if you're less than. You can't get smaller than negative infinity. You agree with that? Mr. Greep, you understand what I'm saying?
And plus, you're also pointing out the answer for
All right, thank you. You're good. I appreciate it. All right, feels nice you coming in here working for once. Let's keep it up. Yes, you've been cutting corners on me. That's why I'm pointing out. Let's go. All right, distribute. What do we got? 8x minus 22. Negative 5x plus 4. Wow, Palmer, you're in the game today too. What's up? Working hard? Feels good, doesn't it? Move the 8x over. If I move the 8x over, I get what? How many? Negative 13x. Anybody got a problem with negative 13x? Now you throw the 4 over. What does that become? What? Negative 26. Whoever said that. Whoever said negative 18, stop talking. That was not Katie.
It was Katie.
Katie's always right.
Oh.
Oh.
Stop me.
That was kind of rough, man. All right, from there. Wow. Now what do I do?
Flip the sign.
Flip the sign. So x is what? Stop.
That's the, oh, that's
X is what?
it's 2. X is 2.
What kind of 2?
Positive.
In relationship here.
Oh, no.
I need the inequality symbol.
Oh, it's the
Greater than what? 2. X is greater than 2. All right, so now you're starting at what number? And going to infinity. Parentheses around everything because there's no equal to sign. Mr. Greep, you good with that now? Luke, I haven't heard anything from you today. Will Wash, what's going on over there? You're going pretty good? I don't want to be pretty good. You understand everything so far? Mr. Williams? All right, let's knock out 17. Let's distribute the -3. Shh, come on. You've been good for about 20 minutes now. Get back on track. Yes, you are for the rest of the year. Trust me. Distribute the -3. See, it's not just you. -6x. Then what? Plus 15. -3 is less than 6. Let's put things together now. Nope. What's that? What is that going to be? -6x what? Plus 12 is less than 6. Now what? Subtract 12. -6x is less than -6. Therefore, change the sign. So it's going to be what? X greater than what? 1. X is greater than 1. All right. So now X is greater than 1 means we're starting at what? Heading towards infinity. There we have it. Parentheses because there's no equal to. I'm waiting. Go. Shh. What? Mr. Griep, you good or not?
Yeah.
You sure? All right, what?
Can you just go the way that's not the way of the sign?
No, we're not doing that. Greater than is to the right. Less than is to the left. Come on, you need to know. Greater than is to the right. That's a greater than symbol. All right, here we go with 19. What? Yeah, we can distribute. 12 is greater than -6j minus 36. Now, I really want to go ahead and move the 6j over here and the 12 over here. So I'm going to have 6j is greater than -48. There are lots of ways, lots of variations here on this problem. So j has to be what? Greater than -8. Tell me. Shh, shh, stop talking. You should go home and listen to this. The whole time you're talking.
How come the negative doesn't go to 6, like 6j, but it was originally -6j?
I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. Tell me again.
Like it's 12. Oh,
What are you at?
okay. No.
I'm just distributing a -6. That's all we did. Right?
Yeah.
Now, we could have divided by -6 for those of you guys who are thinking about that. If you divide by -6, that's going to be -2 is less than j plus 6. I'd like everyone to pay attention to that. Look how much easier that is. Now you subtract 6, you get -8 is less than j. And when you rewrite it, you switch the sign. J is greater than -8. Just a little bit easier. Now, if you're greater than -8, you start at what? -8, and you go to where? Infinity. That is correct. All right, let's continue on. I think we're doing pretty good here. All right. Now, again, I'm trying to show you guys, look, this right here, it would be nice if I got rid of this fraction. To get rid of that fraction, I multiply by what? Say it again.
-6.
-6 over what? -6/5. It's a reciprocal. Everybody agree with that? All right, this guy now goes away. That cancels. So I have D -4. Did I multiply by a negative? Yes, I multiplied by a negative. Therefore, what happens to the sign? Changes. Less than or equal to what? Less than or equal to what? What's 60 over 5? Divide first, please. Just come on, get in that habit. What's 10 divided by 5? 2. 2 times 6. 12. And it's -12. Come on, you can do that. 10 divided by 5 times 6. Now I have to do what to both sides? Add 4. Less than or equal to what? -8. Very good. So if I'm less than -8, where am I at? Negative infinity to where? And then I have a what? Bracket. Is everybody good with that? All right, here we go. Now let's go distribute the 3. 3s minus 15 plus 15 greater than or equal to -6. This one's nice because the two -15 and +15 do what to each other? Cancel out. So 3s is greater than or equal to -6. So now s is what? Greater than or equal to what? -2. So now bracket, thank you very much. -2 to infinity. Greater than. Greater than is going to infinity, right? Right? All right, here we go. Let's knock out the next one now. All right, this one's kind of annoying.
Mr. Stroh,
Yes, sir.
for number 24, you accidentally put an equal sign.
Oh, yeah, I didn't fix this one yet. I made a typo. Yep, so it's greater than it's supposed to be. Everybody go greater than or equal to. Thank you for that observation. Greater than or equal to. All right, now let's go back to number 23. Or I'm sorry, 25. Distribute. Everyone distribute. And don't forget to distribute the negative. Everybody okay with that?
Mr. Stroh. You do the 5x plus 7 plus 3 minus.
I distributed -1, true? -1 times 5.
Right.
No, I'm glad you're paying attention. All right, I'm glad you're working hard. I mean that. All right, if you continue to work hard like this, you'll be in good shape. All right, you can't come in and be lazy part of the time, though. That's what part of the problem is with some of you. You come in and listen for 20 minutes and sleep for 30. All right, it doesn't work. It's never going to work that way. Pay attention the whole time. It's easy. What's 2x minus 5x? I'm listening.
-3.
Yes, -3x. Now what's -8 plus 7? -1 greater than -3. Add the 1. Thank you. -3x is greater than. Now what? Switch the signs. So x is less than 2 2/3. That's not that hard. So if you're less than 2/3, you're going from to 2/3. Parentheses around everything. That is correct. All right, 27. What should I do first, guys? You can distribute, but it'd be quicker if we just did what? Divided by 4. That is correct. Divide by 4. So 4 is greater than or equal to F plus 4. Now what? And so 0 is greater than or equal to what? F. So I need to rewrite this with the variable first. So those of you guys who are not here, remember, if you switch the variable and the number, you got to switch the inequality sign. So F is actually what? Less than or equal to. So for less than or equal to 0, we start where? And we end up at, and it's a bracket and a parentheses. Go ahead, I'm listening. Why isn't the F negative? Oh, because, listen to me. I want to show you what I did. Look up here on the board so I can tell you. If I say 3 is greater than 0, right? If I rewrite it, I say 0 is less than 3. You with me? I didn't move anything. I just rewrote the inequality with the variable being first. All right, let's knock out the next one, 29. All right, let's distribute. 3 is greater than what? 4i. Nice. 3 is greater than what? 4i minus 1. Exactly. So if 1 is greater than I, that means I is less than 1. And if I is less than 1, I'm going from what? Negative infinity to 1 parentheses. All right, the end for me. All right, very good. All right, hopefully you feel better about the inequalities, solving inequalities. Hopefully you understand the difference between interval notation and graphing on a number line. As you get more advanced, we do not use a number line anymore at all. All right, it's always where it says write an interval notation, write an interval notation. All right, so please finish that up. Good job. All right. Yep, that's exactly correct. The rest of it is, in fact, homework.